My brothers, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well, man. Another day. Let's get this. Let's get this. We're on the path of kings, the path of glory, of victory, of power. Got to keep walking one day at a time, man. No matter how hard it is for you right now, no matter, you might be going through an onslaught of urges. You might be going through an onslaught of negative emotions and energy and just tension. You know what I'm saying? One day at a time, brother. Push through. You get back on. Once you get on the other side of that, it's going to be glorious, man. I'll be so glad you didn't give up. So this is what it is, man. The day to day. So we can't fall for weak moments. We can't fall for times and emotions just really start bubbling up. We get in our feelings, We just want to cope. We just want to get some anesthesia, Hop on the hub for a little bit. Those days are done. Time is too short, man. Time is too short. Society's going in a way now where we can't just live out our days just fapping all the time anymore. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that luxury anymore. Last couple of decades we could do that, but that time's over now. We're being called to a higher path, a higher way for something crazy that's coming. And I talk about that all the time in videos, so I'm not going to go too much into that, you know what I'm saying? But it's important to be on this path. It's important day by day to be getting stronger, not just existing through life, being stronger every day, better by the day, improving by the day, not by the world standards, not by getting a better job, not by, achieving in your job, not by getting a bigger house, not by getting all, a bunch of cars, a bunch of material things, cool clothes, women, things to make us look good, It's not that. That's not our path. Our path is the inner growth. It's the true growth. It's the true power in life, the true riches, which is inner growth. Cultivating our inner world, our inner power, letting this energy rise, retaining this energy, not letting it leak out, as well as figuring ourselves out. Got you, baby. As well as figuring ourselves out, mastering ourselves, mastery over self. Because think about it, man. If something was to pop off, if life as we know it is about to change, think of how many people are so dependent on things, so dependent on drugs and alcohol, so dependent on medication, so dependent on their belief systems, you know what I'm saying? So dependent on their way of life, their comfortable routine, their way of life. Everybody's set up their little routine, Imagine when one day all that falls. People are going to go crazy, bro. People are going to go crazy. But on SR, we're already doing that every day. On SR, you never know when you're going to wake up and just have massive urges that day, or just be in a kind of a flat line, just a down spiral, dealing with a lot of emotion, a lot of rawness coming up, things you have to face head on, We go through a battle every single day. We're going to be ready for this. You know what I'm saying? This is our daily lifestyle. Not knowing what's going to happen, Not knowing exactly how our day is going to go. Not knowing how our emotional state is going to be, what we have to face, what comes up. You know what I'm saying? So this is preparation for war. This is preparation for the great battle of our time. And the preparation is by going through a battle every single day. That's the path of SR. Some days are beautiful. Some days are wonderful, man. Some days you just feel so good and you're just looking back. You're like, man, one, you're like, why didn't I start this sooner? But two, you just appreciate life and you appreciate how much better you feel right now without needing anything. I know for me, that's a big one. For me, before, my plans and routines for the day was what drugs I'd be on, what things I'd look forward to. You know what I'm saying? What video game I'd be getting, what kind of stimulation I can involve myself in hour to hour. You know what I'm saying? Like I would plan that stuff out. So I would never be sitting by myself bored. So I'd never be, I really feared boredom, man. I feared facing myself. I feared sitting with myself because there was so much despair. It was so uncomfortable. There's so much emptiness, so much numbness. And so I was so afraid of that. And now that's what I do every day is face that. It's incredible. And you just have these moments where you're just in awe of how much you've grown and how far you've come. And your ability to sit with yourself, your ability to not need to constantly be distracted, constantly be stimulated, constantly be under the influence of something. It's huge, man. It's absolutely huge. It's absolutely huge. And so imagine a world where none of that is available anymore. And most people are so dependent on that stuff that as soon as it's taken away from them, it's going to be chaos, man. It's going to be chaos. But that's where the warriors rise up. We've been used to this. We've been doing this. We're preparing for this right now, every single day. And so that's the thing that SR, the battles you go through on SR make you stronger, and it makes the rest of life so much easier because you've already conquered the hardest thing, which is within, the beast within, you know, the negative emotions, the negative programming, the traumas within us. Those are the hardest things you can ever face in life. The hardest things. And that's why everybody avoids it. That's why society teaches you to avoid it at all costs. And so, brothers, I just want to reiterate like how important this path is that we're on, you know, and go beyond, you know. Oh, I'm just going to make, hopefully in 30 days I have more magnetism. Hopefully in 30 days I have more attraction, that kind of thing. You know, I'm not knocking that if that's what your goal is, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like there's higher purposes to this. There's so many different levels to SR than this. Sometimes we get sold in the SR community that it's just this timeline of benefits, you know, and then once you hit like 90 or 180 days, like that's it, you know, you've experienced the benefits. Yeah, baby. Good job. There you go. And so, man, this thing is never ending. This energy just keeps building to new levels, never ending. And like I was talking about in a video before, psychic abilities become available, you know what I'm saying? Higher and higher levels of consciousness to where you get a zoomed out view of life, you know? You can see things more objectively. You can see things from a place of strength and a place of higher vision. You good, baby? Okay, I'll take this one. Okay. Okay, good job. And so there's so much important to this, man. It's, you know, your family, man, your kids, just being that rock that's never moved, you know what I'm saying? That they can always rely on. Catch? Cat! Got you, baby. Being that rock, man, for everybody around you. You know what I'm saying? That people can look to. We haven't been in times like that in a long time, and most people alive can't remember a time of chaos or anything like that, you know? And of course, you know, I'm not saying like there's natural disasters that happen in certain communities, and those communities for sure have gone through this. I'm talking about collectively though, and most people have not gone through a catastrophe, you know? And so when those things happen, everybody's looking for a leader. Everybody's looking for the strongest one around who stays calm and has direction through it instead of the person who's freaking out, you know? And so, you know, we don't really know much about that yet. We don't really know much about times like that, you know, but I think it's coming down the line. And so whatever's coming, man, we're going to be ready for it because we go through this daily sharpening on SR, this daily sharpening, and we face what comes and we stand strong through the storm, you know, whatever the storm of the day is. And so, but that resilience that builds, man, that's the most important thing. That resilience, that is man's secret weapon to life, is resilience, being able to face anything head on, you know, because in our society nowadays, everybody wants everything planned out. Everybody wants this smooth path, this smooth course. Everything's already thought of ahead. Everything's already taken care of. Everybody wants that, man. But we're coming, you see on the news, you see how the world's going. We're coming into more turbulent times where that's not going to be available anymore. But most people are so, I know for me, this has been a big thing that I've been deprogramming myself from, you know, is that overanalysis, that over-planning, that overthinking, needing everything to be thought out before I even move, you know? And we're coming to a time where we can't move like that. We have to move on our heart. We have to move on our intuition. We have to move on how we feel, you know? We can't move on thought anymore. So much is changing, man, but it's going to be a beautiful time for those of us who are ready. Those of us who've been preparing in the dark, you know? Those of us who felt this coming. And so, yeah, man. Incredible times, brothers. Incredible times are ahead. And, you know, you're blessed to be walking this path. You're blessed to have this knowledge. And you're blessed to have the ability to cultivate your energy and the ability to transform yourself while we still can, you know? Everything is for a reason, man. And you're on this path right now for a reason. You were given this information at this exact time for a reason. So, we keep going. We keep pushing, brothers. It gets hard. It really does. But after those hard times come some beautiful sunshine, you know what I'm saying? Where you are proud of yourself for sticking through the battle. You're proud of yourself for not giving up. You're proud of yourself for not betraying yourself, you know, and sticking through. And you come out on the other side, a new man, a sharpened man. Every urge, every wave of urges, this happens. You level up and you upgrade. So this is our mission, brother. This is our path. And if you don't know your purpose right now, keep retaining. You're going to find your purpose. The energy is going to build up. Your energy centers are going to awaken. You're going to get closer to the divine. You're going to get closer to this intelligence that is way beyond what we can even comprehend. And your purpose is going to unlock and open up, you know? And you're going to be ready for it. You're going to be in a mindset where you can handle it, where you can see the value in the nature of it from a higher view instead of the world view, instead of, sometimes we're limited when we've lived in the world for so long. We're limited on what we think is beneficial for people, or what's actually going to be of value, or what's actually going to be meaningful, or what's going to leave a legacy. We can't see that sometimes. And so as we walk this path, we build the energy, we build the clarity, the purpose to be able to understand and recognize that purpose. Catch? Catch. Let's go catch. Brothers, I'll leave you there. I love you guys. If you're struggling, man, keep going. Keep going. It's only going to get worse if you give up, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes I know, man, sometimes all you can do in a day is just retain, and you just got to kind of withstand the storm, all the energies and emotions that are popping up, maybe the emptiness and the numbness, maybe nothing's going on. I mean, you're going through this period of emptiness, where your energy is still building. Fight through it, man. Fight through it, power through it, and stay strong, because on the other side of that is your greatest blessing. It's your greatest victory. Ow. Just punched me in the nuts. Dang, man. All right. Brothers, I love you guys. And continue to comment, continue to share where you're at. Let's do this together, man. Almost a month. Retain. Let's get this, Let's get this. This is 2026 is going to be a brand new year for us. We're going into 2026 as retained men, and with the energy building. And so let's do it, brothers. Take care.